my name is Emily McLane. I'm a senior and I'm from Faith Assembly of God at Olivet, and I will be performing an original drama that I wrote myself. When you look at me, you see a normal girl. Because I was. I was a senior in high school. I was a straight A student. I was a student athlete. I was at the golf girls state finals. But there was a pain in my leg all throughout that I couldn't describe. It had been there for 3 months since August. But I just kept shrugging it off, thinking it just had to be a sprain or something, right? We finally went to the doctors in December when it was still hurting. My parents were worried, but I wasn't. I'm sure it was nothing. But they wanted to take an MRI just to be sure. I remember laying in that long, noisy white tube, and all of a sudden, it just began to sink in. What if this is more? What if this is something really bad, horrible? But it couldn't be, right? It was just a sprain. I'll never forget the day of the results. I was really nervous. I didn't know what to think, so I just kept telling myself, it's just a sprain, just a sprain. Until the doctors said the words, stage 4 osteosarcoma cancer, bone cancer. I had a tumor in my leg. Cancer? Stage 4? Cancer? You're telling me I have cancer? That can't be right. I can't have cancer. What are you saying? I didn't know what to do. I was frozen in shock. I saw my dad cry for the first time, my mom bawling her eyes out because they didn't know what to do. For the first time in my life, they couldn't help me. You see, I had plans. Plans to go to college, plans to become a nurse. So ironic, right? Because now I was surrounded with nurses telling me I was gonna die. You see, if they catch it before it spreads, you have a 30% chance to live. But if they catch it too late, like they did mine, you have a 30% chance to live. Not 70, like you would if it didn't spread. They gave me 6 months. I went home and slammed my bedroom door and locked myself in my room. I didn't want to talk to anybody or see anyone. I was so angry with God. Like, why would you do this to me? Why? Is this part of your plan? Because I don't get it. And then all of a sudden, he whispered to me, child, it's okay. I have a plan for your life. We're going to get through this together. All of a sudden, I was just overcome with peace. You see, I had to turn this into a positive thing. I couldn't dwell on the negativity, because if I dwelled on the negativity, my life would just waste away. So I did turn it into something positive. I started a foundation called Phase Fighters. You see, during chemotherapy, I was really sick. I remember my hair falling out for the first time. And I was weak all the time. But the one thing I could do was write. So I began to write devotionals and ship them out to hospitals for kids who were sick, who were going through the same thing I was, so they could have a hope, have a light, and that God could be their hope like he was for me. You see, I just kept fighting on and not giving up. You see, I kept being joyful and having a smile on my face all the time because I couldn't live in negativity. To the very end, I kept fighting. Even when I was drawing my last breath with all my family surrounding me, I wasn't scared to die because I was going to go be home with my Lord and Savior. And in May, God called me home. And I ran up to heaven with Jesus. And I stood before the gates of the heaven, and he said, well done, my good and faithful servant. And I jumped and danced for joy because I had no more pain in my leg. I was free. I traded that hospital gown for a beautiful white angel dress. And I was dancing and running on streets of gold with Jesus. But you see, cancer didn't take me. Cancer didn't define me because I didn't let it. Cancer didn't win. No, God just called me home in his timing. And now my legacy will live on forever on Earth.